Hello, Dr. Tawana Worlds by birth, also known as a disruptor. Did you know that millions who grow up in poverty also die in poverty? Have you ever heard the saying, what good can come out of the hood? Well, I'm here to disrupt for just a minute. Yes, I was that little girl that grew up in the hood, grew up in the ghetto, single mother, absent father, eating out of the trash can just to survive. But I was also that girl that determined way back then that I was not going to become a product of my past. And now I help others do the same thing. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. I help men and women from similar backgrounds find value in their own vault and create wealth from within. Hey, what's going on, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Let me go ahead and get... Hold on one second. Let me get my other cousins in on the room. I ain't gonna hold y'all here long. Let me fix my camera. There you go. All right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's going on, good people? Let me know who's tapped in. What's going on, Brother Youssef? What's going on, Instagram family? It is your girl, Dr. Worlds, YouTube family, Facebook family. What is going on? Good to see you, beautiful people. I am not going to be here long at all. You understand me? Not at all. Not even a little bit, okay? I'm going to be in and out, but I have something very, 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 very important that I am going to go over. I have a urgent, okay? It is all gas, no brakes, urgent opportunity that you can take advantage of after hearing the information. I'm only going to allow a handful of people to get first dibs on this, and then after that, it's up, okay? First and foremost, I titled this, It is Time to Financially Grow Up, because it is, but it's not only time to financially grow up, it is time to know your rights. And it is time to get yourself in a different position, okay? Normally, I would not come out and even bring this information to anybody. They're called secrets for a reason, okay? And the reason why they're called secrets is because only a few know the rules, know the game, and win the game. Only a few, okay? It's a 1% class that knows. But since we are going through a lot of tumultuous things, we are really in a collapse of the American structure, our systems as we know it. And because of some information that I was just made privy of, now I'm here, okay? And I'm going to explain something to y'all. This is probably the most serious, and all of my live videos are serious, but this is probably the most serious one thus far, okay? It's about protecting your rights. It's about protecting your family. It's about protecting yourself, okay? Preserving your family, preserving your family name, what you want to leave and do for your family. I'm going to give y'all the due diligence on what it is you need to do and how you need to do it. And then I'm going to present you with an opportunity. But like I said, the opportunity that I present is going to be for a handful of people. This is not information I believe everybody should know, but this is not information everybody is ready for. And there ain't no time to be wasting playing games. So I'm going to let y'all know what it is, okay? And then I'm going to give you an opportunity so you can pretty much, safeguard yourself against what is happening, what is coming, okay? First and foremost, I came by here on the last live and I just brought y'all some game that I know most people didn't know. I was only 46 years of age before I learned this information, probably 45. I'll give it that. So the last 2 years out of my whole entire life, I've never heard my families talk about it. I've never heard people in my community talk about it. I've never heard even one pastor talk about it. Not to say that there is not pastors out there that know this information and probably enlighten their congregants. I've just never heard it. And I've been walking with the Lord since 2002. Okay. Very long time, 23 years, 24 years to be exact. But there is a sovereignty that we can all proclaim. Okay. I mentioned yesterday, and I've been mentioning it in the last few lives, like with this whole situation and this whole setup really pertains to it's the younger people. You've been hearing me say that if you've been watching my lives for the last week or so. Okay. I talked about all this Epstein stuff that is coming out with these minors, all of the children that have been missing and can't be found. And now we're finding out there's a lot of people that we thought we could trust, really politicking behind this situation. And because they're passing legislation that we are not aware of, that is legitimately supposed to be they're doing this or it's supposed to be done in the name of keeping our young people safe. But it's really about governmental control. Okay. It's to make it look like it's nice, sweet, innocent, and then for us to go along with the program, which most people do, most parents do. Okay. They go along with the program, and then all of a sudden you're into something, you're deadlocked into something, thinking it was something else. There is a lot of bills that most of us are not aware of that will put us literally in a digital prison. And I just got to say this, it's time to go from public to private citizens. That is the only way you and your family and your assets will be protected in this United States of America, in this new system. Some of you may have heard of sovereignty. Some of you are totally oblivious to what sovereignty is. Okay. But I am going to allow you guys to know some information that you probably didn't know. This aspect of the information I have been knowing, I'm not going to cap, since like 2009, but I never really deep dove into it. And neither did I have anybody to like really, explain to me what's the reason, what's the purpose for having certain things in place, to protect your family. One of these things that I'm mentioning is when we go in and we give birth to children, they are not our children. I've said this the other day. I literally went to Google, okay, typed it in, allowed you to see, unless you legally declare legal authority over your children, they're not your children, okay? CPS can come in and take your kids, and a lot of the laws that are being passed in this administration, in this year, in this dispensation of time, with these politicians, things that we don't even know about right now. We do not even know what bills. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's about 7 or 8 bills in Congress right now, while they want us to be focused on Jeffrey Epstein and all of the stuff they've been new. Okay, they've been having. This is not new news. This is old news. This stuff go all the way back to the Kennedys, to the Bush. It goes far back. Okay, this is stuff that has been done for a very long time. And why they're trying to release this stuff now, it's done intentionally. Okay, all of these young people were harmed by these big people and government, and then they're gonna come in with the slow roll. We don't need to have government, overreach in this area, or we need to do these things to protect our children, like what they're doing over in Africa. They are chipping their children to protect their children. Okay, you can go look it up in Kenya. They are now chipping their children to protect their children from sex trafficking, kidnapping, different things of that sort. Okay, so there's a lot of bills. Let me see if I can pull it up, put it on the screen real quick. There's a lot of bills that are being passed. There's a lot of laws and legislation that are being passed that could separate you from your children. Okay, and this is why it is very, very, very important. Where is that at? Come on now. I'm not going to dig all the way down in the ditches. If it's somewhere here readily available, then I will share it with y'all. I shared it with y'all normally when I come by here and I give y'all information and share this stuff with y'all. I just keep it pushing, okay? But if I can find it somewhere right up in here, then let me see. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Wow. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let me make sure I'm not skimming through it too fast. And actually, okay, here we go. Okay, these are the bills that are on the desk of Congress that they are legislating. Okay. And these bills are supposed to be being implemented to protect our children, but really it is being implemented to have further control and dominance over your children. The COSA Act or the COSA law. It's supposed to be a law protecting against harming kids and teens, accessing to life saving, the alphabet right here, resources and blank education. If you're not on board, that's a reason for them to come in and remove your child. There's also laws being passed on the state level, not just the federal level, but the state level that will allow a total stranger. They say a trusted adult, okay, trusted by who? You don't even know these people that can go to the schoolhouse, go to the daycares, pick up your children, make medical decisions on behalf of your child. If your child is wanting to have an exchange and you say no, then another trusted citizen, okay, whether that is an immigrant or not immigrant, related or not related, could actually come and make medical decisions on behalf of your child. Y'all go look it up. I'm going to give you the law right here. California. That law is the AB 495. Okay. That's the law. Just go look it up. AB 495. This is a bill. Okay. Hundreds have rallied against this bill that would allow short term guardianship kids who parents are maybe detained by ICE, who parents have maybe may have been locked up for truancy, who parents may be somewhere in a camp because they quarantined or whatever. This will allow people to actually step up in your place. And again, another example I gave you, if you are not in agreement with what your children want to do with their bodies, then they can have someone fill in, okay, for you. So here's another law. It's pretty similar. The US or the AB 495. Look that one up. AB 495. That's one. COSA is another one. The Screen Act would mandate privacy invasion online ID checks. So in order for you to be online, you have to be in the digital system, or if you are not willing to become a part of the digital prison, then you have to do these random ID checks where they scan your iris, they take to the right, to the left, all of this stuff, okay? Take it down, threaten end-to-end encryption, opens the door for even more censorship of policed content online, earn it, okay? This undermines end-to-end encryption, making everyone less safe. All this stuff is supposed to be done in the name of children. Cooper Davis opens the door for increased surveillance, okay, of messaging. Reading your messages and damages encryption that ensure digital security. All this got to do with digital security. But these are the laws that are being legislated in Congress right now. Age gating bill, stop the CSAM. Okay, this is about surveillance powers to law enforcement, transmitting your data to the proper authorities, as they're monitoring you. Okay, all in the name of keeping your kids safe. But really, what the gag is, when you go in to have a child, that child is not yours. When you get into the whole gist of, I want to receive a birth certificate for my child, in order for my child, and you got to pay attention to this, in order for you to receive any type of benefits, you have to have a birth certificate for this child. If they remove your child from your home, you notice when you go to court, it is the state of whatever state you are in versus your name. It is never, okay, CPS versus you. It is never the White House versus you. It is the state of. Why? Because your children are a ward of the state. You gave them legal right when you got a certificate of registrar. You got to go look up what that means. I don't have time to explain it to you here on today, okay? But I have been made aware of some information where they can come in and seize your property if you have it. They can come in and seize your assets, your financial assets, and not only that, your children. Why? Because those kids don't belong to you. And if you have not went down the proper way to obtain legal custody of your children can be removed. If you breaking the laws, and I don't want to go with no digital online, and my kids just going to stay offline and whoop-de-whoop, and now we're moving into a digital society, then you are becoming, a mother or a father who does not put your child's best interest first place. You are a negligent parent. They can come in and remove your child just based on that. These are things I should have known before they did what they did to my son by forcefully allowing him or making him take something so he can get an education. Had I known this, my son could be alive. Had I known that when they came and knocked on my door and told me that I had to be forced to take this and he had to be blood tested to ensure he was taking it, because I'm a public citizen, I give them legal right. Because I took my tail into a hospital and gave birth to him in a hospital and received a birth certificate. This is no longer my child. And that's why they threatened arrest. We can arrest you because he have now been medically diagnosed, and this is medical neglect for you to withhold treatment for him. They tried the same thing when the twins were born, and I refused to give them a certain type of, okay, no ma'am, you will not be putting anything in them. And they called the CPS on me again, opened up a case, but I knew my rights. And when I went in there that time, they got me with my son, but not with my twins. Because there are laws that protect us from the Constitution. We just do not know the law, okay? I tell you all the time, go from being a public sector to a private sector. I have been saying this for the last 2 years, okay? And the reason why I have been saying go from a public sector to a private sector is because when you are public sector, you are treated like the public. You are nothing more than a consumer. That's it. They already know your social security number. That is really a number, okay, that traces back to the Federal Reserve. When you are born into an inheritance. Each and every one of us are. When we get the birth certificate and when we get the social security card, that ties back to the bank, okay? The bank that we have a reserve at. But what they do, best way I can explain this without saying too much, okay? If you go and look at your bills that you receive in the mail every month, if you still get paper billing, Normally, and it still says that, okay? Normally, at the bottom of the bill, there's a section where you tear off, okay? And most people don't know this. We've done this. We learned this way back in 2008, 2009, okay? You take off the bill, the part of the bill. Why do you think they want it detached? Because when you send that back in, that is the payment from your bank account. Literally. Okay. There's numbers on the back of your social security card that identifies the bank where your funds are held. Period, point blank. When you become a private citizen, then you are aware of your funds. You are aware of your constitutional right. You are aware of your sovereignty. You need to have certain paperwork. I know y'all have seen the viral videos where people declare they're sovereign. They do not have to have a driver's license to be driving, and the police trying to, give them a hard time, but they know their stuff. They have no other choice but to let them people go because they know their stuff. Well, I'm going to take it to another level, okay? I need to show you how to accumulate. I'm not going to say wealth, okay? Because wealth is built, it's not accumulated. But I need to show you how to accumulate resources, how to not only accumulate those resources, how to make yourself now a private entity instead of a public citizen, okay? When you start making this rapid cash and you start, purchasing assets and all of that stuff, it no longer needs to be in your name. Your children should be legally, I have legal custody of my children. And once I obtain legal custody of my children, now I'm going to put my legal children that I have custody of and give the custody to my trust. The reason why you do this, if they ever come in and say, we need to take your child, you did not obey by our laws, you did not, my children don't even belong to me anymore in a sense, okay? They belong to a trust. And there are rules and there are regulations that cannot be crossed when you are a private sector. For one, another corporation can't sue another corporation. Okay, that's why you don't see Microsoft suing Chrome. Corporations can't sue other corporations. There are benefits for corporations that consumer would never ever know. They hide it from you. Why? Because if you think about it, everybody walking around here sovereign, then there's no money for them. There's no taxes for them. Okay, there none. Can't get your children. They can't put no debt on your children and say, hey, for the next 60 years, we're going to get work out of this. What I was explaining at the bottom of your bill, when that is already a remittance of your payment. Okay. That is why everything is in capital letters when it comes to your name. Ooh, Father. Might need to slow down a little bit. Okay. I'm trying to lay a foundation so you understand what you're dealing with and why it is very important to learn what I'm teaching you, okay? It will protect not only you, it will protect your assets, it will protect your children. That is what's most important. If they come in for your children, you need to protect them. If they come in for your assets, you need to protect them, okay? Whatever it is that you now put into a trust, it no longer belongs to you as a consumer. Not only that, your debt goes away. Why? Because a trust cannot have any debt. The trust is the boss man. And you are an employee of the trust. This is where you get into, I control everything, but I don't own it. I'm no longer signing my name on any checks. I'm signing my trust name in care of me. I'm in care of the trust, okay? The trust get to make decisions on behalf of my children who are legally mine, but they belong to the trust because now the trust has legal guardianship over my children. Why? Because we are in a trust. You can't take my property from me. Why? Because I don't own it. The trust own it. You cannot take my wealth from me, my gold, my silver, my land. You can't take any of that from me. Why? Because I don't own it technically. My trust do. I'm just a manager of my trust. And in my absence or in my, passing, then this is who I delegate to continue running or managing the trust. And then when they are in absence or when they have gone on, passed away, then this person is in management of the trust. And when I go, I want this child to receive this amount of money every single month. Okay. Or I want this child to have this parcel of land for 65, 70 years, however long they live. And then they can go put that piece of land into their children's land and their children's children. So nobody ever can say, I own anything. We control it. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, just let me know in the chat, okay? I'm going to be out of here, I promise you, in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the max. I'm just laying a foundation of why now this is important. Things that they have prepared and things that they are doing that I am not at liberty to say over these airways right now, these social airways right now, does not benefit you or your children. It's absolutely insane how far these demons have taken us to. And then the crazy part is that nobody knows their rights, so nobody is exercising their rights, their legal rights, at all, because they don't know their rights. Things that we think we know are totally deceptive. We absolutely know nothing. We absolutely know nothing. When we go and apply for funding in a corporation, funding is totally different. Okay. When we use our credit, it's 5 data points that they look for to examine our credit. When you go to a corporation, they look at our debt to income ratio. Let me back it up on a personal level. How much money you making in, how much money you owe out in debt, how long you didn't have credit, what's your credit age, do you have a mixture of credit, do you have some student loans, do you have some card payments, do you have any mortgage payments, do you have any credit card payments, a mixture of that. Okay. How many credit inquiries do you have? How many times you have applied for credit? Okay. Have anybody ever lent you any credit? And if they did, how did you do with what was lent to you? It's a whole entire data system that goes into your personal credit score. Okay. So you're limited, you're judged, and you're limited on the personal side because they can never, ever trust a consumer with no $500,000 to start up anything. Never. Now, if I go in as a corporation and I am the manager of this corporation, this trust, then I can go and request $1 million. And the only thing that they're going to look at, not how much debt to income ratio I have. I can have 40 properties in my name and they still not going to be like, oh, well, you got 40 properties. This is too much for you to handle. It don't work like that. Neither is there no cap on what I could receive as funding. Why? Because I don't own anything. The trust does. And the trust is an entity. A trust is an entity. And it is the best, highest trust, same trust the Rockefeller Foundation set up, a waterfall trust, okay, where it just falls down to each member. It just falls down for generations and generations and generations, a waterfall trust. Once you get in this trust, how to fund the trust is going to be through a specific insurance policy. Everybody in the family should have one. You get 500,000, you get 500,000, you get 500,000. We all got 500,000 as a family. The trust owns that 500,000. We can borrow against that money. We can lend out money. It doesn't belong to us. There's no taxes involved. Nah, why? Because it don't belong to us. It's not ours. We're just managers of what the trust owns. That's it. Okay. So outside of that, I'm not going to get too much deeper into it. You guys can go do your own research. Just type in, what's the process of becoming a private citizen from a public citizen? What are the benefits? You guys can go do your own research. But here is the offer. I am hosting a workshop. Not only am I going to show you how to start your own trust, we're going to do this on this workshop step by step. You're going to be able to start your own trust. Okay. You're going to have all of the documentation that you need to absolutely eradicate your personal debt. Okay. Your personal debt needs to be eradicated because now you are no longer a consumer, you are an entity. Okay. Also, how to take your assets, whether you have them now or whether you will have them in the days to come. How to take those assets and place them under your trust, the proper structure. How to actually go to a website to declare legal guardianship or legal authority over your children, and then how to put them or place them up underneath the trust. How to get access to lots of money as a trust. How to live tax free. Everything that you need to get out of this beast system, because right now is the most important time. Literally, right now is the most important time, most serious time of your whole entire life. Whether you will actually succeed or you will suffer, it will be contingent upon you and what choices you make moving forward. And we only got a little bit of time. I mean, absolutely a little bit of time to absolutely do this, to get out of their system, get out of their control, live the life, okay, that you were predestined to live, not just the life you want to live, the one you were predestined to live without worrying about these boys coming in, taking your stuff, taking your children, taking your wealth, taking your resources, you not having access to certain stuff because you a consumer and not a corporation. It's so many benefits of you being a private citizen. And if you don't know how to do it, you can never do it. Okay. Hold on one second. Hold on. Do I keep saying that? Hold on, y'all. Let me pull up what I need here really quickly. Okay. So what I'm going to have is, I wanted to get all the details. I am going to have a Know Your Rights and Get Set Up Right workshop. This is going to be an urgent workshop. This is going to be the only workshop that I do of this kind. And there is only a handful of people that I am going to give this information to. Okay. You're going to go from a public citizen to a private citizen at the end of this workshop. Okay. You are going to reclaim your lawful status, which is sovereign, your sovereignty. Okay. You're going to understand the shift and what it looks like from public to private citizen. You're going to learn what it means to operate in the private and correct your status in equity. Woo! When I tell you It's going to blow your mind, literally. It's going to blow your mind, literally. Okay. You're going to discover the difference between your legal name and your living identity. So, y'all don't even know what that even means. Your legal name and your living identity. You're going to learn what that is. You're going to find out all about it. Okay. Understand why your status correction is the first step to reclaiming your rights. No, we're going to go from having a legal name that was given to us on a birth certificate to our living entity, what we were born into, what is rightfully ours. Like, this gets deep. That's why everybody not coming. Everybody can't go. I'm going to give you all the templates, okay? The completion, we're going to do the e-filing, the whole 9 yards on this workshop. You're going to go from public to private. And this workshop is going to be about 3 days long, literally, okay, for us to flesh out everything. We're going to complete your status, for sure. We're going to correct your documents, get you 1,000%, okay, sovereign. And you're going to have guided support to be able to do that. You're going to learn how to e-file your private records, okay? Privately record your paperwork and how to e-file that. You're going to make private standing known in writing and in equity. There is money with your name on it as soon as you correct your status. Do you hear me? Okay? I cannot tell you how much, but it's a lot. Once you correct your status, then you can go ahead and get your equity. Okay. You're going to declare your intent and stand in your rightful capacity. You're going to learn how to express lawful intent. You're going to learn the law so that you can use the law. Okay. And you're going to claim your birthright estate. I know a lot of y'all don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I know you don't. Birthright estate. Let me pull it up. And you don't need no lawyer. You don't need to go to no court. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to file birthright citizenship. We're going to say, what is birthright estate? Okay. Birthright estate refers to a special inheritance rights, traditionally a double portion of property. Okay. It signifies a legal and cultural privilege of primogeniture. Okay. You're going to understand what special privileges have been granted unto you while we around here living like a vagabond. You're going to get to learn who you are and what all belongs to you under your living. Okay. Not your legal name, but your living identity. Let's be clear. Okay. You're going to discover how to protect your assets and your name using a trust law. We're going to set this bad boy up. Okay. We're going to review affidavits and documents that enforce your private ownership. You're going to have a full understanding your status correction and how to do it. Because we're going to do it. We're going to complete paperwork and knowledge to e-file it correctly. Okay. You're going to learn about the testatrix and the testator intent means and how to stand on it, applying the law of your sovereignty. Okay. How to operate in the private, how to protect your estate, your assets, and your family moving forward with confidence. Okay. They told you freedom comes with conditions. They lied. That's just the bottom line. Okay. This is the lawful path that I'm going to teach you. That the elite, the wealthy, the billionaires, the typhoons, whatever you want to call them, that they have used forever and ever and ever. Donald Trump is the perfect example. Donald Trump don't owe nothing. But Trump towers. And Trump, the brand, the living entity owns everything, but Donald Trump does not own a single thing. Not the official Donald Trump. Okay, you will get the exact playbook that they don't want you to know. You'll have the exact tools, documents, and procedures used to protect your name and your estate, protect your family and your income, and stop depending on this demonic broken beast system. Okay? It's just bottom line. Every day that we delay, the system gets stronger. And that is what's happening. And before this bad boy crumble and they come implement a new system, we're not doing that. Okay? We're not doing that. By us being ignorant to this, they are allowed to do exactly what they are doing. They're allowed to oppress us. They are allowed to expose us. They're allowed to do exactly what they're doing. Okay. And I know that you that have joined this live broadcast are here for a reason. Okay. It's time. It's time to take back your legal rights. So I'm not going to do this class ever again. I only teach it and give access to those in my mastermind, to my trust attorneys, okay, to my insurance brokers, the ones who put us on the IULs to grow to our private reserve accounts. You will get information, to my connections as well to help you fund your trust. Okay. You need to speak to a lawyer, an attorney, free. The one that I'm going to send you to is the best. And without saying a whole lot to get my video flagged, the people that comes from a specific area of the world, Israel, okay, those people, you know what they are. They start with a J. People we cannot say nothing about before they start harassing our content. They have followed this law forever, and this is what has made their young men and young women rich, wealthy before they ever left the house. Before they have businesses at 12. Bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs are the becoming of women and becoming of men, and that process happens at the age of 12. They come out of the house billionaires, literally. And it's just passed down. They just keep on recycling the wealth. Nobody is ever broke. Nobody is ever busted and disgusted. Nobody can ever come and take. Why do you think they're so powerful? In foreign countries. They're from another part of the world, but they have much power in foreign companies. Okay. I can't see the Cash App address. Yeah, it's right there at the top next to the phone number. I'll put it inside of the comment section as well. Maybe if I blow it up, I'm not too for sure. If you can see it that way. Okay. But I'm going to have this workshop. I'm only going to let a handful of people, just a small amount of people, get access to the information. And not only the information, how to set yourself up the right way. Okay. It's small. If I blow it up like this, let me know if you can see it. If not, then I'll put the information in the chat. It might just be big on my end, but hopefully if I blow it up that big, can you see it? Matter of fact, let me go over here and see if I can pull it up over here. And then you'll be able to take a screenshot of it, okay? All right. Let me put it on the screen. I also do have Chime. And Chime is not included in this information right here. So I will tell you guys the Chime information. Give me 1 second. Let me copy it and put it in the chat as well. Okay. I'm about to jump off here. Wanted to let y'all know I'm only going to do this for a small amount of people. This is what I'm doing. This is what I have done. I'm giving you access to do it because of the situation at hand, friends, because of what they're preparing to do in just a short while, because of what they are preparing for, okay, when it comes to our children. That's the information right there on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. I'm only going to probably take about 5, honestly. That's the number. Whenever I come by here, it is a number that has been handpicked or selected by the Lord. And no, I'm not into numerology or any of that. But if you know God, then you know God is really into numbers. Okay. On the third day, everything was multiples of 3. Okay. When he created, the sun, the moon, and the stars, that's multiples of 3. Okay. When he created earth, the heavens, and underneath the earth, he created that in 3. There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is 3. Okay. The Trinity. On the third day. So numbers mean something. Whenever he tells me I want 12 people to go along, he's establishing a new government. Okay. Whenever he says, okay, it's this amount of people that I'm going to allow you to give this information to, then that is exactly what it is. And he knows exactly why that amount of people only need to come. See, we be thinking we need hundreds and thousands of people to touch and agree, but his words say, wherever 1 or 2 are gathered in my name, then I'm in the midst. I don't need no whole big old crowd. My math is not the way that we do math. So when I come out and take a small amount of people, it's specifically because I was instructed to take a small amount of people. I can show you how to pay every single one of your bills with your bill letters. We're not supposed to be paying income taxes. I mentioned that on the last live. I let y'all see that it was unconstitutional to even have taxes. So a lot of the things that are happening right now are happening because of our lack of knowledge. Once you become sovereign, it's a whole different ballgame, okay? Hold on. Sovereignty rights. See, this stuff is right here for us. Sovereignty rights represent the supreme absolute authority of an individual or a state to govern their own selves, their territory, and their population without external interference. Now, that's right there on Google. You, your assets, your property do not have to have external interference, meaning the government in your stuff. They do not. They don't have a right, but because we don't exercise our rights, a lot of stuff our people that went to jail for, they should have never went to jail for it. You do not have to have a license to drive. You ought not to be paying no taxes. They can't come and repossess your cars. They can't come and foreclose on your home. We just don't know our birthright estate. We don't know the laws. And guess what? I'm going to teach you. In 6 minutes, I'm going to be up out of here, okay? Told you I'm going to keep it short, sweet, straight to the beat. This is a pre-sale. The next time I mention this, it will be not at this price. I am going to allow 5 people to get in VIP with, you're going to definitely need the replay. Okay. This is not something that you want to come in and just say, okay, well, I'm just going to sit there and collect the information. Because if you anything like me, I have children, I have grandchildren, adult children, younger children. I have clients, I have students, mentees. I have the whole 9 yards. That can just be my husband, my mama, my father that can pick up the phone and call me in the middle. And just like that, they want to, I just got to ask you a quick question. I didn't miss the information. Okay. You're going to need the VIP, which gives you access to the replays for a lifetime. It gives you all the templates that you are going to need to file your sovereignty. Okay, even though we're going through e-filing, and even though we're going to establish our trust, and you're going to learn that, you're not going to want to miss any information, especially the part about how to become legal guardian of your own children, because you don't own your children, and they can come in and take your children. How you go and buy a home and then you fall short on your payments for 3 months, almost 6 months, they come in foreclosure. They cannot do that when you're sovereign, when your trust own the home. They can't come seize your assets. We don't know the law. We don't know the law. So therefore, we can't apply the law. They can't repossess your property from you. That's your property. No external interferences can happen when you are sovereign. And then you need to know where your money is at, how much money you got left, how to go into the bank and get access to what rightfully belongs to you. You would not be working. You would be so pissed off that you have had to work all your life when you were born with an inheritance. 5 of y'all, speak now, forever hold your peace. It's $97, okay, for everything. I'm going to give you how to remove your debt. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the terminology. I'm going to help you create your letters so you can send them and notify them that I am fully aware, okay, that what you have been doing is illegal. And according to this law, and because I am a private citizen, you no longer have the right to do X, Y, C, D, E. I'm going to give you funding that you can go get funded in your trust without no social security number and none of that stuff. Okay? I'm going to give you access and information about how to fund your trust so money continuously flows like a waterfall in your trust. How each and every person in your house should have them a IUL. Period, point blank. Not only IUL, another type of life insurance policy that protects you now, it's term, and then you need an IUL, bottom line, okay? How to put your property, where to go buy property and put it inside of the trust, okay? There's a certain trust you need to set up, because there's a trust that is interchangeable, where now you have to go through probate. It might take your family hundreds of years and decades dragging it out through the process in order for them to get access to your assets. We're not doing any of that. Private reserve account, okay? I'm going to give you action at buying you some precious metals, gold and silver, below market value. I'm going to connect you to my big dogs. Bottom line. It's a $97 investment for a changed life, an income tax free life, okay, a debt free life, a protection proofed, pandemic proofed, government proofed life and legacy for you and your family. Okay, is the 5 on here now? I got 2 minutes to go. Is there questions that you guys would like to ask me that you want me to answer? Okay. I'm going to send you secure your spot. Yep, $97 right now. If I come out here tomorrow and the 5 is not live, it will not be $97. That's 1,000%. And I will never do this workshop again. This is a once and done type of situation. Okay. I will not do this workshop again. Now, you are able to learn the information and help your cousins, because that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a business model. I'm going to get you all the way together first and get you financially free. Help you go find your money. The last time I did this, and I helped a sister, okay, I did this on an individual basis back then. I helped this young lady go recover all of her deceased mother's property in Texas. When I tell you they were looking for her, okay, with hundreds of thousands of dollars in finances that have been withheld because nobody claimed inheritance of it. They were like baffled, like, what? And they say, yeah, we've been looking for y'all for a long time, a very long time. You got interest on this money that we have been holding on top of this parcel of land and this parcel of land. You would be amazed. Okay. Any other questions? I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. Okay. Brother Yusef, if you're going to be that one, okay, let's go. I'm only taking 5. And when the 5 seats is filled, it's a done deal. And before I go public, I'm coming here private to my cousins. Instagram, I love y'all. If you are interested in taking one of the spots, okay, 4 that is left, then go ahead and hit me up real quick. I'll wait about an hour for you to hit me up. I'll send you the information that you need, and we will get your spot secured, okay? I just sent it. Okay, brother, if you did not include your email, because I don't think I said this, make sure you include your email, okay? If you did it, just go ahead and let me put my email in the chat. Go ahead and email me. Because I know it's small on the screen. Email me your email, okay? And I will get everybody's email out to them. I know it won't be right now, okay? I got to go get my children, okay? I got to go get my children and get them together. That's why I only got an hour, because I'm here with them by myself. But I will get everybody's email to them. Can I cash app you tomorrow, please? I will hold the spot for you. Okay. So I'm going to say now we have 3 spots, but I will release it tomorrow by noon. Okay. I will release that spot tomorrow by noon, but I will hold it for you. Like I said, it's not for everybody. And that's cool. But for the ones that take advantage of this, your life will never, ever be the same. And that's the reason why I'm doing it. For 1, God told me to. For 2, I think everybody and their mama need to know this information. If they did, then this government would have never gotten away with half of the stuff that they have gotten away with. Okay? If you change your mind, you change your life. And it's never what you know that is harming you, it's what you don't know. It's what you don't know. So I'm only allowed to take 5 people. Okay? Black Tiger 60 myyahoo.com. Okay, let me screenshot that. Oh, you know what? Message me on Facebook, brother. You've been on for Facebook. Message me on Facebook real quick. Just message me your email, because once I end this live, I'm actually going to delete the live. So I won't even be able to see it, okay? But just message me real quick. Sweet honey, tell me your name so I know your name. Email me as well. Say, hey, you say you're going to hold a spot. We down to 3. Before I go, anybody else want to secure their spot? We got 3 spots left. Okay, I will send you all of the information. I'm going to be sending you little stuff so that we can get busy before the actual workshop takes place, where, you'd be absolutely surprised. When I learned this information, I'm not even going to cap to you. I'm also going to be sharing, I forgot to mention this, I'm also going to be giving y'all the scoop on the crypto. I'm also going to be giving y'all a scoop on the crypto and how playing at the right time will make you very, very lucrative revenue that could retire you, literally. I know a 22-year-old man who has retired himself just in the crypto. I'm going to explain to you exactly what it is. I've only mentioned crypto one time when I was doing a workshop, and had a mentor come in and do the workshop. I'm also going to be showing you guys how to trade like Congress. Okay, I'm going to give you access to that. I'm going to give you access to multiple ways for you to go get bags and put it inside of your trust and fund your trust, something that can never be taken from you. Now you become your own bank, you become your own boss, you become your own Lord, as we supposed to be. He is the Lord of Lords, okay, and the King of Kings. That tell you a lot. Sovereignty. All right, y'all, I'm out. Instagram, it was good. I said 1 hour and I meant that. I got to go. Okay. There's 3 spots available. Unfortunately, I am about to delete this live. And the next time you hear me mention it, it will not be mentioned at a discounted price. Sorry. It will be mentioned for those 3 spots. Will totally go up to almost $500. Just letting y'all know. It's too much value. It's too much life changing, transformational, implementational. It's going to change your life. Too much, okay? For $97. I love y'all. See y'all next time. I'm out. All right, YouTube, Facebook. Peace.